Hey y'all, this is Karen Dachsel, creator of Hapuh's Right. Nah, I ain't coming to fuss with nobody, but I saw something on the YouTube that which made me laugh, but it made me think about the wisdom of God, because God do give us different assignments, and sometimes there are different things going on within our body. Have you ever had a sickness and wanted God to heal you, and He didn't, and you still had to go and have the operation? But He healed you through the doctor. And when we say heal you through the doctor, meaning that whatever the doctor did for you in his own right, that's what they study for. That's what they have operations. That's why when you have a headache, you go and you take what? Ibuprofen, Tylenol, depending on whatever country you in. But you go take a pain medication, depending on how it is. If you have certain type of sicknesses within your body, because the body made from the earth is called back to the earth. Let's not get wise in our own eyes. The body that is made from the earth, that God called into Adam, brought him from the earth, and then Eve was taken from the rib. It goes back to the earth. So the body calls it back. The earth calls it back. As the earth travails, it calls your body back to the earth. Okay. But anyway, so that's a teaching all by itself. So sometimes when you are in prayer, the process for you may be to go get an operation. Maybe God got to show the doctor something, and maybe He need to show you something. Maybe He wants you to sit down and just have time with Him. Maybe you too runny, or maybe you just need to. He just want to do it that way. He can do it any way He wants. So we're not to shame people if they're taking medication for different things, because as you go along and you have prayed within faith, what happens is your faith has made you whole. Well, as you walk with God, it doesn't have to happen overnight. That's a miracle. When God does stuff, if you ever been in prayer, if you ever been really sick and you have prayed, God will tell you, get up and go to the doctor. Meaning, I don't plan on healing this way. There's nothing wrong with that. You may have to be on medication until you find a better way, depending on what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't shame people because they have to take medication. You don't know what they had to go through. You don't know what they're going through now. You don't know what brought it to this. You don't know the root of it. Is there witchcraft? Yeah. People can put a whole lot of different things on you. And if you do not stay in prayer and don't know that it is witchcraft and that you are to curse it to the root and curse the head of it, and you have to keep in that prayer. And whatever the enemy is coming at you with, you keep praying in faith that God will deliver you. That's where deliverance comes in. It comes in stages. It's a process. Deliverance is a process too. Okay, you pray for one thing, don't mean that you have to keep praying. If God hasn't immediately taken it away, He may tell you go to the doctor, find out what it is. You may have an imbalance in your body. You may come to find out that you have an imbalance. You ever went to the doctor and found out something that you didn't know? I was like, oh, I didn't know that I had that. And then God interceded for you. Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father, intercedes for you. And what He does is He lets you know you need to go to the doctor. Go get that taken care of. That's why we go to the dentist. That's why we go to the eye doctors. Why we go to that. Can Jesus do it instantly? Yes, He can. He can do all things. He can do all things. But that's why He gives the scientists and the doctors knowledge and how to do this kind of stuff. Can He heal our heart problems? Can He heal our kidneys? Can He heal all of our organs? Yes, He can. Yes, 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 He can, yes, He can, yes, He can, because He is God. And we got to still have the faith in Him even when we're on medication. Doesn't matter. If you are taking medication and you find preventive medication in order to use. You talk with Jesus first and then talk with your doctor. See if it's okay, because sometimes that helps as well. We don't know what has gotten the person there. So whether, who doesn't matter about a title. This is to all people. If you are sick in your bodies and after you have prayed, you pray the prayer of faith. You keep taking your medication until you are instantly healed. They have different ways of preventive medications to take, of different vitamins to take, but there's nothing wrong with taking medication. Then you're telling people that they don't need to take a medication. They don't need to go to the eye doctor. They don't need to go to the dentist. They don't need to have operations. They don't need, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Common sense. And then God gives revelation and wisdom into what we need to do. That's why you go get checked out by the doctor. If something happens, you get checked out by the doctor. Why? You have annual visits. Have annual visits to your doctor. And especially if someone has something mentally. The thing is about mental health. Scientists don't know much about the brain. They have studied it, but they don't know so much. Only God knows that part. And sometimes we have imbalances within our body that makes different things at certain ages or at certain times in our life go a different way. And you have your hormones as well going through different things. Now, let's not be silly upon what's reality and what is God. If you're sitting and believing God, keep believing Him while going to the doctor. You go get a checkup. You feel something, you go and get a checkup. Doctor says this. And you say, okay, God, I'm praying in faith. But you still take the medication. And if God tells you not to take the medication, that's another thing. Then that's your personal walk with Him. But don't shame people because they're taking medication. That doesn't have anything to do with wisdom. Wisdom says, the Almighty God, if we need to, we can. Because He Himself will tell you. I know because I've had that experience, a true experience. No joke. Later on in years, then God healed it. But He wanted to show me something. Everything don't come at an instant, and everything don't come. And you cannot just use Him as saying, God, just heal me. Heal me, heal me, heal me, heal me. No, go through the process. So you can be a testimony and tell somebody else, say, honey, I took that. I took some medication. But you know what? God did heal me. Sometimes He does this in instances which is called miracles. And sometimes God don't give you a miracle. He lets you go through the process as you're believing, as your faith comes up to Him and in His word. You keep repeating His word and you keep going to Him and say, God, I got the faith. One day you're going to heal me. And He will. And He will right on earth. But remember, we're taken from Adam. Adam come from the earth. And we came from the side of man, the rib, part of the earth. But that's why we like them ribs. Like the ribs. So slap some of that barbecue sauce on it. But anyway, so when we're taking that, we're made from that, and as the earth travails, as Jesus is soon or nearer to come, our bodies are called back to the earth. Ask God. If you are sick and in need, we always pray in faith. We always have the faith in His word. The faith in His word, but never tell a person, never to not take or shame a person because they're taking medication. You never know what they need. We're not God. That's a personal relationship with him. And he may tell them, go to the doctor. You don't sit and wait until all your teeth are that you have a dentist appointment. And if they find you need a root canal, you don't say, Jesus, heal me of this root canal right now in the name of Jesus. And I'm not going to the dentist. Sit down in the chair and get the shot and get your teeth fixed. Get your eyes checked. Get your ears checked. Whatever it needs to be. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I think God understands. We are living here on earth. We live here on earth. And we have to use wisdom. If your finger was to get cut down all the way down to the bone, you run now, go where? You would go to the hospital. And you'd get that little shot in your finger. And you can get it sewed up. Use wisdom. And they would give you painkillers. And they would give you antibiotics. I want no antibiotics because I know. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. It's okay. It's okay. Let people have a true relationship with God. How he brings their walk out is not up to us. It's up to him. So don't shame people because they are taking medication. If they need mental medication for their brain, for different things, or for their body, it's just like taking anything else. Maybe it doesn't make them react a little different, but don't shame people. Pray for them. Pray for them. Seriously, pray for them. Because I'll tell a person in a minute, if you bothering me and you keep doing stuff, then you need help. You're a little skitsy. You're schizophrenia. You keep just doing stuff. When people keep just doing stuff and you out of it and stuff, you are different. You are in different ways in a mental state, which is not a joke, which is an imbalance. And if we go and talk about, I'll be the first to talk about demons. But you know what? Other people don't understand demonology to a certain point. They're always talking about demons, always talking about that. We know it's a demon. We know that. But pray. But pray. So don't shame people. Some of these people need to be taking something. So they would leave me alone. If they take some because it would balance them out. And they would say, oh, I'm not living in the fantasy anymore. Oh, welcome to the real world. Yeah. So when don't shame people for taking medication. Sometimes people need it. Yeah, they need it. Karen Dachsel, creator of Hapuh's writings. Sometimes we just need a little help.